All right, so get this. We're diving up today into this Hip Hop DX article about Kendrick and Drake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's like straight from the source, kind of, because it's from Glasses Malone.
Oh, wow.
Who's like actually worked with Kendrick before.
Okay, yeah.
And he's dropping some serious bombs about like their beef.
Mhm.
We're talking real beef here, not just like internet rumors.
Right, yeah. Glasses Malone is pretty respected in the West Coast scene, so when he talks,
Yeah, well,
people
but
listen.
Like he's not just some random dude.
Right, right.
Malone comes right out and says that Kendrick really wants to kick Drake's,
Wow.
and that Kendrick is like, quoting here, a mean person
Yeah.
who doesn't let things go easily.
That's interesting, because like
Right.
most people probably think of Kendrick as like the good kid, you know?
Right.
From his album title, Good Kid, M.A.A.D. City.
Yeah.
So to hear that there's like this other side to him,
Yeah.
this like mean streak or something, it kind of makes you think about where that intensity in his music comes from.
Totally. And it makes you think about artists in general. Like,
Right.
they're not always
Yeah.
like how we perceive them, you
Yeah.
know?
Totally complex people.
Yeah. And it actually reminded me of this Apple Music interview Kendrick did recently,
Okay.
where he was talking about how much he loves that hip hop is like a sport, you know, and the competition of it all.
Oh, what? Like he thrives on that.
Yeah. And he actually specifically mentioned like battle rap
Oh, interesting.
and how he feels like that's been missing.
Like that real
Yeah.
head to head.
That energy, you know?
I see, yeah.
So maybe that's part of what's going on here with Drake?
Yeah, like maybe he's trying to bring that back. A
Yeah,
little bit of that old school energy.
exactly.
Yeah.
And diss tracks have always been part of hip hop.
Oh, totally. It's like
It's not always meant to be taken so literally. It's
Yeah.
like part of the creative process.
a way to push each other and kind of like
Right.
move the genre forward in a way.
Exactly. And like these are two of the biggest names in hip hop right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So like it's not just some small thing.
No, it's like
It has implications, you know?
it could really change the direction of things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think some people might be listening to this and be like, oh, come on, is this really a big deal?
Right.
But it's not just about two rappers arguing, you know?
Yeah, like a bigger conversation
It's about the culture.
about where hip hop is going.
Like, is competition a good thing?
Right. Is it healthy?
You know, or does it
It's a
become
bit toxic.
toxic? Exactly.
Yeah.
And actually, Kendrick kind of touched on this in that same interview,
Oh, really?
where he was talking about how that competitive spirit can sometimes get out of control.
Yeah, it can definitely go too far.
And he even said he feels a responsibility to kind of bring it back to like a good place.
That's interesting.
Which is interesting because Malone was describing how Kendrick has been carrying this energy like ever since that last album,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, the one with all the Drake disses.
Exactly, like he's still riding that victory lap,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, I see.
It makes you wonder, like, is this gonna keep going?
Right, like is this just the beginning?
Yeah,
Or is it going to fizzle out?
we're just scratching the surface here.
Yeah, there's a lot more to unpack.
There's a lot more to this story.
For sure.
Okay, so let's like take a step back for a second, look at like where this rivalry even comes from.
Okay, yeah.
Like Kendrick and Drake, they've both been at the top for so long, but they have such different styles, you know?
Oh, totally. Yeah, Kendrick is like super lyrical,
Yeah.
complex, wordplay, all that.
Yeah,
And his themes are often really socially conscious.
right. Like he's a rapper's rapper.
Yeah.
Drake is more like melodic, you know?
Yeah, more singing,
Yeah, and a lot of like introspective lyrics.
really about relationships and stuff.
Yeah,
Personal struggles.
exactly. And even like their career paths have been so different.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like Kendrick blew up so fast.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere.
You know, like independent releases, then boom, he signed and like winning awards and stuff.
Yeah, it was like a rocket ship.
Drake was more gradual, you know?
Right. He was acting first.
Yeah.
And then slowly started releasing music.
Yeah, and like climbing the charts with each song.
Yeah. Totally different paths.
And maybe that's part of what's feeding into this, you know?
Oh, I see.
Like Kendrick came from that underground scene
Yeah.
where it's all about battling and proving your skills.
Right. Lyrical supremacy.
Exactly. And Drake came up in a different world, you know?
More mainstream focused.
Yeah, like commercial success.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe that's what Kendrick means when he talks about the missing grit in hip hop.
Interesting. Like he's missing that rawness.
Yeah, like that hunger to prove yourself.
Right, like those early battle rap days.
Exactly. Like it was electrifying.
It was. Definitely. Yeah, like you had to be on top of your game.
Yeah, you had to bring it.
Or you get destroyed.
Exactly.
It was like a gladiatorial arena,
Yeah,
you know?
totally. And in a way, Kendrick and Drake are kind of doing that now.
Oh, like their own lyrical duel?
Yeah, they're trying to outdo each other. but it's not always like super aggressive.
Right. Sometimes it's subtle.
Yeah, like hidden disses.
Yeah, like you have to really be paying attention.
Yeah, like those Easter eggs in video games.
Exactly.
Yeah, where you gotta find them.
You miss it if you blink.
Totally, and that's what makes it so interesting, you know?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, keeps you guessing.
Yeah, and like Drake's not just sitting there taking it.
Oh, right, he's responded.
Yeah, but he's more like passive aggressive, you know? Like he'll drop a line here and there,
Yeah, little jab.
but never says Kendrick's name.
Right, or the subliminal.
Yeah, like he's playing the long game.
Letting his success speak for itself.
Exactly.
Interesting tactic.
It makes you wonder though, like,
What?
is there actually real beef?
Right, are they really enemies?
Or is this all just for show?
Like a carefully crafted narrative.
Yeah, to keep us all talking.
It's hard to say for sure.
We're not in their heads.
But they're both so good at what they do.
Oh yeah, they're masters.
Like they know how to play the game.
Right, they understand how to use their image
Yeah.
to create buzz.
And they're both smart businessmen too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like they know controversy sells.
Yeah, it keeps them in the headlines.
Exactly. And let's be real,
Oh.
we eat this stuff up. You know?
Oh, totally. Yeah, we love the drama.
We dissect their
We
lyrics.
analyze every move.
I wonder if they're like laughing at us,
No, probably.
like knowing they've got us hooked.
Totally. Yeah.
But I think it goes deeper than that too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like they're pouring their hearts into their music.
Right, it's personal.
And when someone comes along and like challenges that,
Yeah.
it's gonna sting a little.
It's like someone critiquing your baby.
Right, exactly.
They're gonna get defensive.
So maybe it's both, you know?
Yeah, like a mix of business and genuine emotion.
Yeah, like two sides of the same coin. And it's in that space, you know?
Yeah, where the magic happens.
Right, where the creativity comes out.
Yeah, they're pushing each other
To be better.
to be bolder.
And we benefit from that
Exactly.
as listeners.
So where do we go from here?
That's the big question.
Like, what's next for this whole saga?
Who knows?
Right?
That's the beauty of it.
Like, it's unpredictable.
Anything could happen.
Yeah. Will they keep going at it?
Or will they collaborate?
Or will they just move on?
Time will tell.
But one thing's for sure,
What's that?
this rivalry has already made its mark.
Oh, yeah, it's part of hip hop history now.
And it'll probably keep shaping things for years to come.
For sure.
All right, so we've talked about where this rivalry comes from. Their different styles,
Right.
competition in hip hop.
Yeah.
But there's one thing we haven't really talked about.
What's that?
The fans.
Oh,
Like, how does all this affect us?
Yeah, we've been so focused on Kendrick and Drake,
Yeah.
we forgot about the people listening.
Exactly, because without the fans, this is just two guys arguing.
Exactly.
So let's talk about that for a sec,
Okay.
because we're all invested in this story.
Oh, yeah, we're all part of it.
We love this stuff.
We're drawn to it.
Like, it's human nature.
The drama, the suspense,
And in hip hop, rivalries are like,
legendary.
yeah, like they become myths.
Think about Biggie and Tupac,
Exactly.
Jay-Z and Nas.
Like, those rivalries are bigger than music.
They're part of our culture.
And now we've got Kendrick and Drake.
It's like history repeating itself.
And it's so interesting to see how fans pick sides.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Like, it's a sporting event.
You gotta have your team,
Yeah, your colors.
your jersey.
And social media has just made it crazier.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it's a constant debate.
People dissecting every lyric,
Every Instagram post.
every interview,
It's exhausting.
but also exciting.
Yeah, it's like a soap opera.
We can't look away.
But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
we're all just fans.
Right. We love the music.
We love the culture.
And I think Kendrick and Drake know that they understand that they're not just making music.
Yeah.
They're creating an experience,
A community.
a whole world.
And that's powerful.
It really is.
Like, music can connect people.
in ways nothing else can.
It can transcend language.
Culture.
Everything.
And when you add rivalry,
Yeah.
it just intensifies everything.
The stakes are higher.
The emotions are stronger.
So how do we as fans
Yeah.
navigate all of this
Right. How do we enjoy it
without getting lost in the drama?
without getting too caught up?
Yeah. I think the key is to remember
Right.
that music is about expression,
Yeah.
about connection.
About sharing.
So even if we're drawn to the rivalry, we shouldn't lose sight of the music itself,
The art,
the lyrics,
the melodies.
because that's what matters.
A good song
Yeah,
will outlast any drama.
exactly.
So focus on the music,
The music that moves you.
the lyrics that speak to your soul.
To artists who are pushing boundaries. Okay, so we talked about the fans, how we're all involved,
Yeah.
the importance of the music.
Right.
But there's one last thing we need to talk about.
What's that?
The legacy of all this.
Oh, wow.
Like, What will this rivalry mean in the long run?
Yeah, how will it be remembered?
What impact will it have on hip-hop?
Big questions.
Huge, and it's hard to say for sure, you know?
Yeah, the future's a mystery.
But we can look at the past for clues.
Okay.
Like, hip-hop has seen some legendary rivalries.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Think about the East Coast-West Coast thing.
Right. Biggie and Tupac.
That was tragic.
It was.
Like, it showed the dark side of competition.
Yeah, the violence.
It really affected hip-hop.
For a long time.
And then you have Jay-Z and Nas.
Right.
Super intense.
But it pushed them both creatively.
Yeah, they made some of their best music because of it.
And they eventually reconciled.
Yeah.
Which was a powerful moment.
It showed that hip-hop could come together.
Yeah.
So with Kendrick and Drake, we have to consider both sides.
Right. The potential for good and bad.
It could get destructive.
Yeah.
Or it could inspire them.
To reach new heights.
And it's on them, you know?
Yeah.
To navigate this responsibly.
To use their platform wisely.
To elevate the conversation.
To be role models.
And we have a role to play too.
As fans.
Yeah, like we can be respectful.
Right.
Appreciate both sides.
Yeah.
And recognize that rivalry can be a good thing.
If it's done right.
Yes.
It can push things forward.
So what does the future hold for Kendrick and Drake?
That's the million-dollar question.
We don't know.
But that's part of the fun.
The mystery.
The suspense.
They could keep trading disses.
Right.
Or they could collaborate.
That would be wild.
Or maybe their paths will just diverge.
It's all on the table.
All right, we've covered a lot today.
We have.
Origins of the rivalry.
Different styles.
Impact on the fans.
Legacy.
It's been a journey.
But before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with one last thought. Okay, I'm listening.
Okay, so we've been like really focused on this competition thing.
Right.
This rivalry, you know,
Yeah.
pushing each other to the limit.
Mm-hmm.
But what if
What if?
it's actually leading to something even bigger?
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Like Malone said, Kendrick's super competitive, takes everything personally.
Mm-hmm.
And Kendrick himself said he wants that grit back in hip hop.
Yeah.
What if that grit isn't just about diss tracks?
Okay.
What if it's about like pushing the whole art form forward?
Interesting. So you're saying this rivalry is actually making them both better artists?
Exactly. Like they have to constantly innovate.
Right.
To stay ahead of each other.
To stay on top.
It's like an arms race, you know? Every album, every song has to be better than the last.
But it's not destructive.
Right.
It's actually beneficial.
Exactly. Like a rising tide lifts all boats.
I like that.
And let's be real, both Kendrick and Drake have already pushed boundaries.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Kendrick with his jazz influences.
Right.
His complex storytelling.
And Drake with his singing and rapping.
Yeah, like blending genres.
Pushing the limits of what hip-hop can be.
And this rivalry might push them even further.
To take bigger risks.
To experiment more.
And we get to hear the result.
Exactly, like we're the ones who benefit.
The listeners.
It's like those cooking shows, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Where the chefs are trying to outdo each other.
Right.
But they're also creating amazing dishes.
That we get to taste.
Exactly. So maybe instead of focusing on who's winning, we should just appreciate that this is even happening.
That they're both pushing each other.
Pushing hip-hop forward.
Expanding what's possible.
Challenging our expectations.
That's a good point.
So let's like shift our perspective a little. It's a bit of a battle.
Yeah.
Think of it as a collaboration.
A joint effort.
To make hip-hop better.
Even if it's unintentional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because in the end, it's not about sales or awards.
It's about the music.
The impact they have.
The legacy they leave behind.
And that's something we can all celebrate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm actually feeling inspired to go listen to both their discographies again.
Me too, like with fresh ears, you know?
Yeah, appreciate their evolution.
And maybe, just maybe,
Maybe.
this whole thing will lead to an actual collaboration.
Oh, wow.
That would be incredible.
That would break the internet.
Only time will tell.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Until then, keep listening, keep exploring, and keep that hip-hop spirit alive.